Sumit is a test professional. He works on framework development and quality assurance for cutting edge products. And he worked on various MNCs. If you'd like to know, go to the page where GTR published about Sumit. And he strongly believes on one thing: always keep learning and contribute back to the society. So that's what he currently does, and we all do at some point of time, right? We keep learning and contribute back to the society by doing this kind of workshops or talks or sharing insights about various platforms. So here we go. We also have a video interview of Sumit regarding this workshop and how those things goes. And we have some details also given by Sumit on what's going to be there on the workshop. He's going to talk about different visual validations. He's going to talk about how it is changing over years, how the as testing is evolving, everything is evolving, innovative testing strategies comes in place in order to gain the return on investment, right? So that's where all these concepts, all these testing strategies will come, and ATI GTR are these kind of conference where we can get all these kind of innovative testing strategies right away we can utilize in our test companies to make sure companies achieve their targets and ROI. So without wasting much time, I would like to hand over this session to Sumit, and he is going to go ahead with the hands-on workshop of visual testing. Over to you, Sumit.
Thank you so much for a lovely introduction, Rakesh, and everybody. First of all, really thanks all 88 team members for giving this wonderful opportunity. And most importantly, we are approaching near the closing day, but still you guys are here, and I really appreciate coming out and show your passion for learning. And I think as Rakesh, quite rightly mentioned about the workshop, but I think I would, really like to word it a little bit. This is going to be a journey for you today. I have prepared few things, considering that even if you're not coming from that background, even if you don't know automation, but you really heard about visual testing, and as a customer, as an end user, we all know the importance of it, right? So I really thought that let me do some research and create a something, a kind of 1 hour session which will take you to different things into the world of visual testing, and I think that's why the name is quite like that. And along with this journey, I will try to help each one of us, whether you are coming from automation background or not, whether you know about it or not, even if for this session there are some pre requisites mentioned, and but still if you are not prepared, be relaxed, enjoy this 1 hour with me. I will try to give you a lot of inputs here, and I'm sure after end of the session, each one of you who are present, and people who can see recording later, will get something out of it. And I'm telling you, rest assured, you will be able to start and jump into this particular visual testing. Okay. So having said that, let me just start sharing my presentation. Give me 1 second. And I think Rakesh and my kind host, please let me know when there are questions and answers I need to take. I think around 6:35 or 40. But feel free to start, guys. Putting whatever questions you have. Even if I'm not able to cover everything, I will definitely try to come back to you as soon as I have your information, and I will share all the answers. So I hope you can see my screen. I'm just sharing my slide. Maybe Rakesh, you can help me with if you are able to see it.
Yes.
Perfect, thanks. So, guys, as mentioned, somehow I was trying to also bring few more things, as I was thinking that if someone very new to this, domain and wants to do, and really a lot of my friends and colleagues were asking me if we can do this, and they were having this kind of, thought like behind that we need to know automation or not. I said, let me prepare something, and I think today is what I'm going to show to all of you how each one of us can do this. But yeah, end of the day, there are some practices, best practices, which I'm gonna share with all of you. So let me jump into the action, what we are looking for this journey today. So yes, we will be talking about what exactly the visual testing is, uh, and most important, always why, and do we really need it or not, or it is just, another a kind of a new breed into the testing, which is, coming up and we are just catching and, running. Do we really need it or not? And with few facts, I will help you to understand the importance of it. Then, of course, how does it work? Traditional way, uh, upcoming things in the future, what you can expect with the advancement of the technology, the way products are getting built. Everything comes with the challenges. It has to its own challenges, but end of the day, I will try to help you on different challenges, what you can think of and how you can go with the solution mode. Then very important point, which is like a strategy, because we have a lot of tool, we have different way of doing existing automation, and when visual automation falls into another that bucket, it's kind of a chaos. I have seen people are struggling to decide the strategy, and again today I will help you with most of the research which I did, and I'm sure all these pointers will help you a lot to decide a best strategy depending upon what you are testing, depending upon your environment, your timelines and whatnot. And the most important, demo live action. I will be showing you something. I have prepared one more thing here. If it is working, both the thing I will show you today, and with that you will understand how easy it is and how you can start with this in one shot. And then of course, things to look for in the future. It's already there are a lot of trends happening around visual testing, and at the same time a lot of research are happening around visual testing. So somehow, along with visual testing, I will be talking about few different terminology, and you might wondering that visual testing is not only limited to just doing a visual validation. It has a lot of things to do on top of it. And then question and answer. I will try to answer most of the questions if time permit. If not, I will come back to you with all the answers. I will try. So now, when we talk about visual testing, guys, so I think it's pretty simple. What we need to do is we need to ensure the layouts and the applications are rendering properly. The problem here is like it has to render properly on different flavors of the environment, say operating system, devices, browsers, layouts, and whatnot. So I think most importantly, if I tell as in a very simpler word, it's not a UX testing. I would say a visual validation testing. When it will come to that advanced particular stage, we can call it as a advanced visual or UX testing. At the moment, it is just like you want to ensure that whatever application you are building, okay, those applications should be able to render properly on all different ecosystem, and that's what the expectations are for our product. So that's the visual testing is all about, guys. Now let me jump into quickly, do we really need it? So I was just preparing few questions, because I think when we ask questions to ourselves, I think we understand concept very well. We understand the importance of it. So having said that, I think these are few of the questions to all of us into the call, like have you ever wondered if our applications are getting rendered correctly on different this kind of infrastructure? Well, I think this question everybody knows, and I think end of the day, from automation or from our product, we have these expectations very clear that we need to ensure our applications are working fine across these endless devices and different browsers coming into the market and operating system and whatnot. The list will go on, guys, but always expectations are things should work into it. And end of the day, our customers, we can't control what they're gonna use in future. So that is the biggest challenge, and expectations are always like that, and they will be like that. Second and most important, we invest in GUI automation a lot. Okay, everybody does that. And I don't know, but I have this question. I mean, if we are doing GUI automation already, then why not to extend it? And here is a pause. Can we extend it, right? I mean, if I say I have already automated 300 or 1000 automated test cases, I already have them, right? Then can a few lines of code can really take me to that particular one more aspect, which is very important actually. And I think that's what I have today for our demo, where I will be taking you to show you it is possible. If you have that, I will show you a few things which can help you to, just leverage and extend your existing automation to also cover this very important topic, guys. Well, expectation is to always have a great user experience. We all understand that nowadays it's not only a functional testing or you are just validating 1 + 1 = 2. How to is getting, visualized to your end user is important. And I think it's all customer centric. And that's the reason I think we all understand that, yeah, it is very, very important aspect to have this kind of a testing. It was always there, guys, but nowadays with the advancement, as my colleague was telling, with the advancement of different environment and different ecosystem altogether, I think somehow the importance is much higher than it used to be previously. Now, let me jump quickly how actually it works. So I think it's very simple. What we do generally into the visual validation testing is like we generally take a screenshot. Whenever we take a screenshot, we try to have a baseline stage where I can say probably, let's say when you are doing a first execution, you will be capturing few of the screenshot, and those particular screenshot you based on your the product understanding, and based on your criteria about giving a product go no go call or something like that, you will call it as a baseline stage, that you will say that yes, this is the freezing images, and I think this is the way layout should be, and we want now every other system should be able to render into the same way. So second time, as soon as you will do the execution, you will be, and I think we can call it as a kind of, you can say, a different, I mean, when the execution is done, those different execution reports, you can call it as, your another content, which you will be comparing with your baseline. So as soon as you compare both the things, the analysis and, the reporting, once you are done, then it's up to you to, raise a defect, or maybe there could be any change which are actually valid changes, and you will go back to your let's say operational team or UX designer or a developer, and they may come back saying that no, that's a valid thing, and you may need to again re-baseline your those particular stage one images. So end of the day, it's a cycle. You take a screenshot, you do a baseline, you compare the screenshot, you analyze, and you again decide the baseline. Now only what is changing, so this is what happening across like for many years, but what is changing is the way every stages are happening, and I think that's what I was trying to see, what is changing. And the changes are mostly with respect to your baseline, how you decide a baseline. Can we do A B testing? Can we have a control to have a smart analysis of your reporting? Because I can't go and check all, let's say, mobile devices and how the things are rendering, and I don't want to manually go into the tools or inspect the things and then validate it. So I think in all those areas, the artificial intelligence, and as we have different technologies coming into the place, like cognitive vision and all, the things are getting evolved, I think, on every stages. And at the same time, there is one very important topic which I will maybe even I will be covering at last, which is like about going before this stage. For example, this is something where we are starting with the baseline image. So somehow there could be a very smart question that can we have uh, our good baseline images also, right? So and I think that is a very valid question. One of my UX friend designer has asked me this question. I mean, what if someone can ask, or maybe when the development team is designing any web pages, at that time, if someone can tell that no, your baselines are not correct. And I think that's where also a lot of works are happening, and maybe in few months or a year, we might see these kind of things in our tools. So I think that's how it works, and I think I was trying to cover what you can expect in future out of that. Now let's go to the challenges, which we all understand. We have different ecosystem. We have a human limitation. I mean, Maybe I find this web page very beautiful, but maybe I have some problem, and maybe someone else say that no, the color is not matching. So we have a human limitation with respect to analyzing the things. At the same time, we have a limitation with respect to speed, like we can't cover everything. These all devices, going one by one, and we cannot add only humans to start testing. So we need to decide where to put systems, where to put the tools and framework, and where to put probably, just give me 1 second, sorry, and where to put systems, where to put resources with respect to domain expertise. This is one very challenging thing, dynamic data, because I will be covering this also. I will be showing you when we talk about dynamic data. Let's say we have a web pages talking about, the share market, or let's say Amazon, where you are changing the product. So all this dynamic data, or say tables onto the DOM, where the tables are populating different data. If all these things are changing, then do I have a control to probably, find out what to test, what not to test? And if the things are dynamic, then also in dynamic what I can possibly test it. And I think maintenance is something which I added, because I thought when it is coming to automation, I think at that time, whether it's a visual automation or any sort of automation, I think maintenance matters a lot. uh, I still understand there could be a small maintenance, but we need to always understand that how much maintenance will be required if there are any changes happening into the system. And based on that, I think we should evaluate a particular tool, and our strategy should be based on that. So I'm going a little bit slow, guys, so that first you understand why it is important, strategize the way, and then only we will jump into the tool aspect. Now let me go quickly to the pointers, and I think this is what are very important for all of you. The pointer number one is a mindset, guys. I think whether it's a visual automation or automation, I think we know a limitation based on different ecosystem, and human errors are there. Speed is one of the factor. The products are getting built in very fast, rapid cycle mode. And in that case, we need to understand that whenever we need to apply a visual testing, should we go for a dedicated tool only for a visual testing, or should we go for already existing automation is there, can we leverage it, or we need to only put our functional expert who will be every time borrowing the devices and testing on different browsers. And it's all up to you based on the timeline. But I personally believe when it comes to visual automation or visual testing, I think automation mindset is really important. Now, while selecting a tool, and I will come to a very interesting part later, I really don't want you guys to go into, after this session, which tool to select. And yes, I will be sharing few tools with you. But end of the day, guys, I personally, I would suggest you everyone see tool should be a last part, maybe not exactly the last part, but let's not jump into the tool, understand your ecosystem, and based on that, let's select a right tool. So this strategy of the tool will help you a lot. Now, what do we want into the tool? Okay, so I'm giving you all pointers. Number one, we need to ignore false positive. And when I say false positive, most of the time, whenever we do visual testing, guys, we end up with a lot of failures, and we feel that these are the defect. Actually, they are not defect. They are the valid dynamic web pages and content. So in that case, our framework, a tool should have a capability to ignore those kind of things. Then the very important part, and I'm covering two, three things here with the reporting, is you need to control your baseline. You should have a capability in your tool to control your baseline and apply a rule. And when I say rule, it is very important what you want to compare. Do you want to exactly compare one to one page, or do you want to compare maybe just a content of that particular page, or maybe you want to check only the logos or something? So you need to have that capability, the way you need to apply a rule for that particular testing. So we need to have a control what we can test and what should be relaxation, and tools are there with this capability. Then analysis, as I mentioned, see, end of the day, if I have a CI/CD, I can run those automated script for, let's say, 1,000 devices, different browsers. Then I don't want to sit and then inspect and analyze one by one all those failure. I don't want that. I want a smart mechanism into the tool that with one it can apply that to other. So we need to, smartly think where the tools and system can help us, where we need to use our domain and functional expertise to inspect the thing. Then aliasing, as we know, into the browser we have this aliasing and properties, so we need to know that whether we have this anti-aliasing property, where those all, the fine tunings and all can be ignored. Then do we have a layout comparison? And I think I have missed here to add, but the tables, right? So you have a different tables, you're just playing with the applications which have only data, and then what to check and what not to check. Then dynamic content, I think we have already covered. Let me go to another point: resolution independent system, full page control. What I mean to say, and I think I will be covering more part here. When I say full merge control, let me take that first. Uh, See, I mean, end of the day, I don't want a system where I need to write all this assertion. I don't want a tool where I will be writing 10 assertion and every element of that DOM. I want a control to be there that I just give a page, I give maybe one of the DOM element, and my tool will ensure that the full page is getting tested. So here it is very important. We need to ensure the tools are getting selected based on these capabilities. Yes, we need to have other capability. If you don't want a full page, then other things will be there, and they are already there. But full page is something we need to ensure whether we have or we don't. Now I think it is very interesting, and I think with this I will be covering few very important thing. I have mentioned here, guys, dedicated, VOIS extension to existing automated script. So I feel personally, many people have this kind of confusion here, and let me bring very clear, guys. Let's go with only three things into the mind. Do you really want a dedicated tool for visual testing? If you have already automated script, there are a lot of things available into the open source, into the commercial, where you can just integrate few SDKs, libraries, and with few lines of code you are already there. So let's not reinvent the wheel. And at the same time, which I have actually, it's very beautiful, I will tell you. And I think if there are any automation folks into the call, they will really like it. I mean, just imagine, guys, we write, let's say, 10 assertions for a page. Okay. And that's our functional testing. Someone says that, compare this. See, just imagine, visual testing tool was created for visual testing, but there is no harm if visual testing is helping me to have one assertion, and all those different 10 assertions, which my existing automation framework is asking me to implement, I can ignore. With two lines of code, if I can do everything, why to write those 10 lines of code? That's a smart work, right? So uh, that's where I will keep that for my last slide. I have few analogies to share with you, on the tool side, that how smart you can be when using a visual automation. With visual automation, you can start with that, but you can cover other aspect also which you don't know, and I will help you to take you to that also understanding. Then code based and configuration based. As we talk about automation, we have script place, script, and I think the same comes here, guys. We have a configuration based tool, we have a code base. I will take few names specifically for configuration in the upcoming slide, which you can figure out if you don't know anything. And also I was trying one of the configuration, like directly a Selenium ID with one of the library, if we can do, and I will also try to show you that. Then CI/CD, as we know, we need to have that support, less maintenance when we are done with the automation. Do we have a device coverage? Can we cover all variety of the devices and ecosystem? And definitely, as we know, that these things are completely aligned with the technology, OCR, and image recognition, and whatnot things are coming. So we need to ensure that do the things which we are picking have this support, or maybe are they working into these areas, because tomorrow this is going to come, and then our tool or a framework should support that. So I think on the tool side and on the automation side, all these pointers, I'm sure when you apply to your individual the problem statement, or the way you have your own internal infrastructure, I'm sure now after this tick box, you can go and decide any tool, guys. So that's not a problem at all. So now Let me just go, and I will not take much time here. I think this you can later read out. You can go to the Google. These things are available there. But I will maybe probably I will take few names which I have searched and I have tried to explore. Is like about, I think, on the configuration side we have Wrath. So it's like a headless browser. I mean, there is a feature is there, and with the headless it will do just comparison. So it's a very nice. Then there is a Gallon, has a Selenium grid support. You can try it out that. When we move to the code, or I would say a little bit scripting side, I think the Phantom CSS is fabulous. It relies on the technology of your Phantom CS and what was the name? I just forgot. It was about the Casper. So Casper and Phantom CS, it relies on top of that. So it's really amazing, and you can try it out. Then there is a Gemini. I think Gemini talks about it has a Selenium interface, so it's also very good for scripting side. So these are few of the tool, and then there are commercial like Apply tools and libraries are there, Percy and Screener. So these are the tools. Let's not go into the tool much because based on the previous slide, I think you can decide what to choose, what not to choose, and maybe there could be few more addition which you can explore. Okay, now time for a live action, guys. So let me just minimize my slide and take you to the demo. So let me just minimize this. Okay. And let me go to my Eclipse. Okay, I hope you can see my screen. Rakesh, if you can just confirm. I've just started
Yes.
sharing. Okay,
It's
perfect.
visible.
I hope it is a desktop because I'm sharing Eclipse, and also I want to show a few more things. I think everything you can see, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, guys. So I think today I gonna let me just show you. So I was talking about few things that if we have, do we have any existing thing? And I thought this page will be very interesting to show you. So if you see here, guys, you have all these SDKs ready. So this is a very nice, one of the utility I was trying. If I can show something, so Apply tools, SDKs are available, and I think they talk about more than 40 different things are covered. And I think you can see here they have it for Selenium, they have it for your Appium, they have for UFT and whatnot. So these are all different SDKs available for us. Then I will go on. I think this is okay. I think now you can yourself explore. And today we will be trying to check one of the projects. So if you see here, if you are just even if you're not familiar, I can just tell you it's not too good but kind of a dirty but a Selenium code here. I'm just trying to play with the Selenium, open some browsers, play with few locators, and with that I am trying to implement the visual validation. So this is my Maven project. If I tell, and just give me 1 second. So what I did here is I have this Maven project developed here into my Eclipse. With that project I have here this particular SDKs. So I am using Java here, so I have just given Maven this dependency. Once you put it here, you can probably go to the jars, and you can see here there are a lot of the libraries are coming over here. So these are all the libraries which are coming from which I was showing you. So here I have this SDK for Apply tools. This SDK I have integrated here into my Maven project. Once you have this, then you are good. I have just imported few package. Let me just show you code here. Take it to top, and if you see here, these are possibly the Selenium packages for doing Selenium automation. So imagine and just try to relate, like, yeah, you have your automation you're doing from Selenium. You just need to integrate another library here. Once you integrate that library, packages are there for you. And now try to connect everything when evaluating a tool. That do I need to write all those kind of assertion? Can we do in a quick way with only one assertion? And I think that's what happening here. Let me go first to the first from the code point of view, and I think then there are few important things which I will tell you, and I think with that you can by your own can start, which I'm pretty much sure. So here I'm just doing nothing. I'm just initializing my driver object, and I will be launching some Firefox, and I will be showing you a few pages here. Then I am initializing here, eyes runner, and then eyes. So basically, as we know the driver, there is an important eyes class, and we have this initialization with the eyes object. We are going to play a lot, and it has a lot of functions to fire with. And then what I'm doing here, these are just, as a I would say a condition, we need to give that particular object another instance exactly. So what I'm doing, I'm creating that configuration, then I'm putting a key. Don't worry on the key, I will take you to that key. So as of now, the particular appli tools give you a unique key. You need to use this key because end of the day, it gives you its own ecosystem, a cloud service where you can execute this script and these things on different varieties of the devices, and they call it as a ultra UX grid or something. So that's what the beauty of this tool is all about. Now after that, I'm just putting here a name for my particular, you can say, execution project. I've given it one name. Then I have given this configuration object to my eyes. So I think I'm ready with this particular object. So eyes is ready for me. Now what I'm telling to eyes is that, let me just hover here. I hope if you can see, there are 4 parameters: the Selenium driver, then application name, which is under the test, then the particular test case, like I have given a name visual test, and then I am giving when I need to launch that, inspect the element, or let's say do a visual validation, then what should be the coordinates. So I'm just giving here those kind of a resolution, and you can change that as per your need, and that's it. And then I'm just firing one of my website which I know has a static element, so it will work. So just open the website, and then now see the beauty. As I was mentioning about the mode, I'm just putting one checkpoint here. I'm telling that check entire home page. Then I'm trying to click something else. I'm just trying to click another page. Once we run it, I think you will try to visualize it. But just imagine I'm doing just 2 click, home page click, and then another click on that particular website, and I'm trying to validate everything on that particular website. Okay, then that's it. I think then we are just uploading the result and printing the result. So that's a pretty much simple code, not too properly developed, but for a demo I think that's okay. Now I think if we talk about execution, so before execution I would like to show you a few more important things. I was talking about the key. So when you land up to appletoolsi.com, and if you create your account, and I think it was mentioned into the document as well, you will get a unique key here. So you can take a key from here, okay, and the same key, if I show you, I hope you can see the same key is what I have applied here into my Eclipse. So I'm just telling my code that for the synchronization and for accessing all the services, this is a unique key given to me. Please use this key, and then I can use that infrastructure. So there is a trial validity and few more things which you can check on the website, but that's how it works, guys. So now let me go to important thing. Now once we are here, I think this is about the dashboard. Let me help you with a few interesting things here into the dashboard. Maybe I will go with one unresolved. So first time when we do the execution, as I was mentioning you, it is a baseline. Now try to relate every aspect I'm trying to cover with the slow, so that you don't need to read again anything, no need to go even and see a video, and you can just play and you will be there. Good part is it will not tell pass and fail until and unless you decide your baseline. So here I was just doing one execution to have few failures, and then to show you how you will be starting at the first instance. So when you will be doing execution from here, which we will do, you will have this kind of a reports coming which talks about unresolved. And as I was mentioning, you are here to compare this image the way you feel. If you think that these contents are good, they are properly loaded, let's say for Windows 10 Firefox browser, and if you are happy with that, then tool gives you ability to create a baseline. So you can accept this or you can ignore it. Ignore means you have few problems, and maybe you need to discuss with someone, and based on the evaluation you might raise it as a defect, or maybe you need to go back and change your baseline. These are a few things which I will probably take at last. What is A/B testing, and then what is this, different comparison. But most important, which I personally really liked, is about, this particular. You can see all different layers here. You can choose your own mode. So if you see here, let me just click here and quickly show you. So you see here, you can choose your baseline, you can choose your checkpoint image, and then this is something, let's say I want for the next time that maybe this automation, this particular word I don't want to be, use or test. I can just use this and I can crop this, so it will not next time check this particular thing. So dynamic content, maybe I can, remove if I don't want to test it. So everything is there on your cloud service. You just need to work on the coding side, and then this tool will take care. I mean, anyone expert on the functionality side can probably see it and can do this task for us. So this is about the first level of, execution, guys. So now let me just jump into the live action. Let me just execute this particular piece of code here. So this is a JUnit test, and let me just run it. So it will launch a Firefox. It will do some click and all actions. So run, and yeah, okay, so it is doing execution. Let's see how it works after the execution. Maybe I can explain few more content here. So what it is doing at the moment, doing an execution, it will click few web pages on that particular website, and then it will upload the screenshot baseline with the comparison of the AI reports to the cloud service. So just be with me, it will be a little bit slow if it's a Firefox. So it's happening, and let the browser launch. Okay, now good part you will be noticing here is and I think I really like this particular thing here, that it will wait for that DOM to load. So I don't need to really wait and put my own delays. It will ensure that everything is checked, done and dusted. The DOMs and every elements are properly loaded, and once it is there, then only it will go and start evaluation. So right now it is doing and the execution, because it is the first time in that mode, so a little bit slow. So let's give some time and it should launch a website. So if you remember, I have given some coordinate. I have changed the browser layout, and that's what is happening here. So the browser was loaded. It was checking. I think it's for the first time on the Firefox, so it was taking time. Then it has moved that browser coordinate to the particular resolution which we have given into the system. So right now that's what happening, and now the websites are getting open. So it will ensure everything is getting loaded. This website also has few more options, so it will ensure that once everything is done, then only it will go to the next option. So it has clicked. Now probably I think it will close the driver object and it will start documenting all this thing to the cloud service. So let's wait for a few more seconds, and then we will go to a dashboard. All right, it is done. So having done with that, now what I need to do is I just need to refresh here, and done. So if you see here at, I think we are on 617, and we have these results here for us. If I click this, it will tell me, and I think I was having some previous baseline images. So it is asking me, you did not save the changes you made to the baseline, you can return. No, I don't want that. I just want to show you guys this. Okay, no worries. So with this, if you see here, the baselines are here. So now previously, I mean, when I was running this code, I have made a baseline for this screenshot that I want things to be, loaded like this. And that's the reason it is passed. Now what, as I was mentioning, what we will do, we will try to do a little bit trick here. We'll try to run something else and let's see how it happens. Okay, so let me just have few more things to show you here. So Now what I'm doing is, instead of, let's say, that particular section, I'm clicking on few other things. So I know the second page will be a little bit different. Okay, so let me just build this and rerun the project. Let's go back. So what I did, I just change a little bit actions. So instead of about, I will be clicking few more other let's say a DOM, if you just want to understand what is happening here, and run a test. So what we are expecting out of this is, we are expecting that the visual validation will be done, the pages are different, the DOMs are different, so we should be able to see those differences into our dashboard. So once again, the execution mode, it will render the web pages, it will do some comparison, and then again it will upload to the cloud services. So now I think it has some all caches, and also it will be a little bit faster, I hope so. Okay, now if you see, it is doing something else. We are not into the about section, guys, so we should have some dissimilarities. I'm purposefully just creating this so that we can understand how the things are happening, and then we will jump to some other topics. So it's done. From this point of view, I think from project point of view, it will be pass, because there is no validation, it's a JUnit test case, so it will just go and say pass and see the difference to actual dashboard. All right, it is done. Let me go back to my dashboard. Once again, as I mentioned, I will be doing a refresh. Okay, now once we are into this, if you see here, as I mentioned, that's a smart system. It's not telling you fail, it is telling you that unresolved. It's your call, you just check what has been changed. And if I click into this, it will exactly show us the differences. So if you notice here, this page was properly landed, this page has few problems. So once we open these differences, we can visualize that we are expecting something else, and here we have something else rendered. So it's all our call now, whether to raise a defect or whether to create another baseline image. So I think you must have noticed it's pretty simple, and I think again I have somehow I have took you from this code, and I was wondering if few more other things, and I also got that. So maybe I will take you to that also. Maybe in 5 minutes I will try to show you that, and then we will jump into this. So let me just close this. I think this I was thinking if I want to show you any important API, but I feel you guys can go ahead on this website, you can see about their APIs from different classes. And now let me show you a few more other things here. So now here is a beauty. We all know that we have Selenium ID, and it supports for our automation. A very nice tool from our community friend, Selector Hub for Expat and all. And now the magic starts from Applitools, integration with Selenium ID. So guys, if I click here, and if I show you here, now I think you will really like it. So see, the Selenium ID is getting open, and sorry, the Applitools is asking that please open a Selenium ID and start doing what you want to do. Now let me jump into the action. Let me go here and launch Selenium ID. Even I started doing it first time, but I really like that for someone who is not coming from that background can also do. So let me just quickly create a project. What name we should give? Let's give a name. Uh, sorry, GTR Visual, and okay, and what base URL? So let's give again my URL. So I'm just giving a random URL here. Okay, start recording. So yeah, I am into this. Now let me click home, and now let me go back to this and say to this what I want. Now see the beauty. what I want. Do I want to check complete window? Do I want a particular element to be checked? Okay, let's go again back the way we did from the coding. Let's start to do from here. Let me add a check window here. So I have just added that. Now let me click about from the web page itself. So I am clicking about. Perfect. I am into, and let me have a validation here also. So one more validation, and yeah, do validation for me. So it is done. I think so far I'm good. I'm done with my a few actions. Now let me come back here and stop the recording. Give a name of a test. Let's say second. Okay. Few things just so that we understand what is happening. So yeah, so this is our one check. I think this was about home page. So let me just click here. I think this was for my, this was for about. So let me put that. Having done with this, let me save this test case. This is done. Now with this, I think I can quickly show you a few more things. So GTR visuals, let me go to documents and let's say put it here. Okay, cool. I am there, and now let me run it once again for us. So let me, it is here once again, guys. We are into this now. I'm running from here, and I really like this. So it's opening my website, and again it will go back to a few more options. I think it was about, yeah, it's there. Okay, and if you see, I mean, I don't know, somehow I can't, because it is controlled from automation. If you see, there is from the backend, I think there are some logs happening. It is checking few things, and if you have noticed, see, there was some flickering things happen, right? I mean, we all have observed that. So if you see here, what it is telling me, if I refresh, okay, sorry, so it has clicked about, I think, and it is telling that yes, from this tool also, when I have tried to run, the things are proper, and we have this second, I think, yeah, we have given this name as a second as a test. So we have this test and the execution is fast. So see, it's the same thing I did also from here, and I think that's where I thought to show you that SDKs and the integration on different systems. So that's the beauty of this. Now I think one more important thing which I want to show, when I go to this particular let's say here, sorry, here, if I go back, so now I want to show you a few more things here. So I was talking about few things. I really like the concept of ultra fast grid and view mode. So if I want to execute, see, and now the choice are mine. So let's say I want to pick a browser. So we have executed on few. Let me go back to and add few more browsers here. Let me add I don't have this, so let me use there, confirm. Let me add few more sizes here. So let's say this is my size. Let me choose a device from the form. So let me go with which one I like. So maybe Galaxy S8 I can pick. Okay, I'm done with this. Now let me go back to this. Now again, see, let me run this. So once again onto the home page, it will go back to another window, and then see what we have, we have tried to select is what we will be, expecting from the dashboard, and we are going to use there that particular grid and have a complete, cross platform and different browsers and systems we are taking. So we are almost there. So it's trying to click on home page. and it is doing some background logic here. So let me just go back to the dashboard also and keep this handy. So I think this one is previous one only. Okay, we are still on the execution. Okay, so I think it has failed with Windows on homepage failed applications plugin did not. Okay, I think there was some error happen from my side. I think I have somehow clicked in hurry. 1 second, let me rerun it. Sorry, it was my bad. Let's give some time. I think I have closed that. I thought it is done with the execution. So what we are doing, nothing, we are just again changing some layout, and again we are trying to do the execution and see how we can see the report. And with our own previous baseline, if it can compare that and if tells if there are any differences. So that's we are doing here. Let's wait for a few more moments because I think this website is not that responsive, so we need to give some time for execution to be completed. And if still we have issue, maybe we can change some layout, because I don't know if I have a liberty to use those all the devices or not. I was just trying it out and I really liked it, so I thought to show you. But again, the concept remains that you can choose anything from there, and I think you can start executing if you want to. If you don't have the systems and all different environments, still it will go with you. So I think it is still taking some time. Maybe with the interest of time, I will try to stop it. It will be failing. If it is passed, we will be able to see it from the dashboard. But meanwhile, I think we have seen one thing. So let me just refresh it. No, it is not there. So I think it's not able to upload and check that device. So we'll wait for that. Meanwhile, I think that's what I wanted to show. Basically, what I wanted to show is that you have different SDKs and library, and you can go ahead and integrate with different things which you are already doing, and you can leverage your existing automation with these libraries to go to the next step. Okay, so I don't know about this. Once I think if it is done, we will come back to this, but it is still trying. And as I mentioned, it will ensure that keep trying and then only go with the reporting. So I will not close now because it might run and we might be able to see when we are moving to the questions and answer. So yeah, I think Rakesh, maybe we can go to the questions and answer if I have any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And we
that's
will come back to this. Yeah.
sure. Let me open the Slido.
Mm-hmm. Are you
Please
sharing
let
Rakesh Slido? Okay.
Yeah, please let me know once the screen is visible.
Yep, it is visible.
Okay, so we have few questions from the participants. Sumit, so the first question is, can we use Apple tools only for web applications?
No, not at all. I think it is for there. I mean, if you go to their the way it is evolved, it is like it is integration to all different. So you can go for a desktop, you can go for all different utilities, and I think also for PDFs and all. If you want to evaluate, you can also do that testing. So it is there for you guys. So it's not only limited to web browser.
Thank you, Sumit. And what are the typical challenges we face with visual testing and while adopting it?
I think the most important challenges are so I think if you allow me to answer with this, and I think I wanted to take that one more part which I will cover here with this question. The most important challenge is let's not go into the tool side. I mean, people land up into the tool, they just go with the tool and select the tool and just play with it, and then they realize that it is not solving our purpose. So if you allow me 1 second, Rakesh, because
Yeah,
this I have kept and somehow I missed that to share with all of us.
sure.
So see, somehow I have kept this line because I know these questions will come. So I really want to say to all of you that let's not be fooled from the tool. See, and when
Can
we
you share
say,
your screen?
Sumit, you are
yeah,
sharing screen?
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Is it not visible? Oh, sorry.
No.
Okay, so let me just share screen and then we'll come back to the questions. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen. If you can see Rakesh and everyone.
Still
Still
no.
not visible.
Oh, it's still not. Okay, I'm sharing once again. I hope now it will work.
Yeah, it's there. It's
Okay,
visible.
finally we are doing all testing today. Okay. So, so I think, see, I have kept this purposefully because I know if those questions will come, I think this slide will answer. And with this, somehow, but I need to go back to Slido. But see, guys, end of the day, these two things are very important. One is with the image I will explain, and second with the one of the analogy. See, don't let the tool fool you guys. Okay, so tools are meant to solve our problems. So we need to be very clear with our problem statement. As someone was mentioning about, can we do other testing like not only web application testing. So you need to know what you need to test. You need to know a larger picture, your timelines and everything. And I think based on those things, tool will appear. I mean, you can then go to the Google and you can find out, you will get those kind of things. Okay. So have those kind of thing in mind. And at the same time, this something came, if you see another image, which I have drawn here into my slide is about, the book. So sometimes few
Are
tools.
you showing some other things, Sumit? Because we are seeing only the presentation.
No, I think you see the question and answer slide.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it. So I have just
Okay.
quoted a word here, a line like, don't let the tool fool you, because tools you need to decide based on what you want. And once you are there, then another image is just the image of a book. Okay. So now you can use a book to write, you can use a book where you can write at the same time, the same book you can use as a paperweight, right? So it was meant for writing, but at the same time, there is no harm if that particular book is able to work as a paperweight. So we need to be smart there. And I think that's where I was talking about visual testing. And these are the things coming. People only think about visual testing, but visual testing can help us to do a localization testing, language side, and accessibility testing. I mean, there are a lot of things happening with the problems which we have, disabilities and all. At that time, we need to understand whether our products are able to, are they user friendly? Can someone having a problem, poor eyesight, can he or she read it? So all those kind of thing also you can cover with this. Then A/B testing, where you want to give the same version of your product to different groups and you want to evaluate the result from them. You can do that with this visual testing. And I was quoting one more example, if you remember, about annotation, right? So here that comes, right? I mean, if I have a visual automation things in my project, then somewhere, if you look that earlier code, why I will write 10 Selenium annotation, I can use visual testings. That API is already there, and that is also doing the same purpose. So imagine a table where you have 10 content, you want to do assertion for those 10 content. But if you have visual testing, yes, it was meant for doing a visual testing, but there is no harm to use the same tool also to cover your more functional testing. Imagine automation engineers will understand that just now the web page we have tested, right? So why to use all those assertions, right? So I think now, having said that, if we go to the Slido, Rakesh, if you share, I want to say that please understand these two things I purposefully kept here. You need to be smart on the tool side. And really, when I started investing on the visual testing side, I realized it's not only visual testing, tools can do other magics also. And that's what in today's journey we all need to take out of the sessions. Okay, so yeah, go ahead, Rakesh. Other questions, if
Sure.
any.
Thank you. And the anyways, we already answered this kind of question. So Sumit already said Windows web based, and you can also go through Apple tools. You can watch it here. And moving to the next question, does it have integration with browser stack or similar offerings for cross browser? I think does it in the sense Apple tools, I believe, is
It is
having.
already right now. I
Yeah.
think what we have seen was a cross platform, and you can choose your browser, you can choose your devices from their farm. So it is there, and you can connect it with your own also. So they have those solutions. Yeah,
Sure.
it is there.
So Sumit, one more question. So we have seen Aptitude tools. Is there any other project explains with open source tools?
Yeah, if you can once again please show question Rakesh. I think I missed the last line. Uh, what are the
No, no, that's the end of the questions.
can you just once again read for me, please? Because I have lost this at my end.
Yeah, so I asked this question. So is there any, so we have seen the
Mm-hmm.
Aptitude tools, right? So is
Mm-hmm.
there any project do you have created? Is there any repo link which is having purely with the open source things? Because Aptitude tools is a commercial tool, right? So
The
is there
same
any
I can,
open?
I mean, if you
Yeah,
want the same, I can add for all of you to explore. And at the
yeah,
same time, I have heard, but yeah, we need to, recheck. But I have heard they support open source community directly. So if you are creating something, you can directly use everything from their library. They do these things, and that's the reason. If you remember when I was showcasing that SDK, I understood that already from their website, they are sharing these libraries with all open source SDK, whether it's a Selenium, Appium, and everything. So Rakesh, to answer, it is there. Maybe we need to just explore how we can, leverage that for any open source project.
yeah, yeah. So maybe I can ask the question again. So my question is, other since Aptitude tools is a commercial tool, is there any open source tools where we can do the visual testing comparison?
Okay, okay. Yeah, definitely. I was talking about Phantom CSS, if you remember. I think I really liked Phantom CSS. You can go for that definitely. And I think apart from that, there is one more, but I mean, WebDriver CSS is there, Rakesh. But I don't know about the support because I think it is going to be dead soon. But yes, Phantom CSS would be a choice if you ask from my point of view,
Sure.
because it relies on Phantom JS and Casper JS. So that is really amazing.
Yeah. Sumit, if you allow me, I can add one more sentence
Oh,
to
please,
this.
please. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, folks, definitely you can do the same thing with open source tools. If you want to go for the commercial tool, definitely you can go for the Aptitude tools. There is no doubt they are providing the fantastic analysis of everything, anti-aliasing and browser regions, ignore regions, everything. But however, when you go for the open source tools, you need to just make yourself, you need to try hard a little bit because you need to do things on your own, few reusable utilities.
Yeah.
And for Selenium, anyways, you have the browser automation library. And if you want to do some comparison, you can use Image Magic, which is a Java automation library. And if you are using screenshot, like one of our screenshot libraries called ashot, so it internally have the capabilities in order to compare both the screenshots and provide you some visual differences. Okay, so feel free to use these open source tools. Yeah, thank you so
There
much.
are a lot of open source, and I think the most important thing I think out of this journey, because I know people are running to learn visual automation, visual testing. I don't want all of us to just go there and start with one tool. I think the pointers are very important. Once we have those brought down into the paper, then only go to the tool. Let's not make tool fool you and then you land up again with your POCs. Okay, and I think few more things in the future which I have shared. So yeah, it's a very good space, visual testing. I hope we'll continue to learn and share more things with you. With that, if any other question, Rakesh, for me?
Uh, in Slido, that's it. So, attendees, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, we have few more minutes. I think 2 more minutes, so we can go ahead quickly if there is any other outstanding question. Or feel free to connect with me if you have any question, guys, and I will try to help you answer.
And folks, let's interact with you guys. So, how many of you currently doing performing visual testing in your organizations? Okay, or else let me twist the question. How many of you are going to do
Going
perform
to.
the
I
visual
think
testing in your organization? Since Sumit gave enough information to you guys, how many of you are going to get started with this now?
Okay, I will throw another question. How many of you did tried at least in past to
or
do
thought.
some, yeah, try to, so like I did that. Have anyone tried? Guys, we're trying to be interactive. We're trying to hear from you guys. Aditya,
No, I think that is ID of Adi, I believe so.
No,
No.
no, no, no.
Huh?
Another
Okay.
Another Aditya, another.
But I'm sure everybody have thought, and maybe in a month they will start thinking this
Correct.
is going to be a buzz topic, and I think it is there. It is going to be there. I'm pretty much sure. It's
Yeah.
only I know as soon as things start, like the way RPA and everything comes, right? People will just start to the tools and all, and I think they will end up with tool. And then they will say that tools are not solving us. And I think that's where I was trying to put analogy. Sometimes even if the tool is wrong, like visual automation, I mean, I was just trying to relate with my experience that I don't need to really write 10 annotations. I mean, it is doing my job. So let's combine visual with automation of regression, and both the things I am covering with smartly. Okay, so that's what the strategy should come from. So go with that mindset, guys, and I'm sure you will end up with good output of that.
Yep. Thank you so much, Sumit, for sharing these wonderful insights. Definitely, our testing team will follow the innovative testing principles or innovative testing automation, which we are currently doing there, and hope everyone will be utilizing this visual testing and taking their test strategy to the next level. And again, I would like to thank you, Sumit, for this wonderful workshop.